His Aunt Martha called yesterday, her voice gentle but firm. "Honey, he's moved on. You need to accept that." Moved on. The words echo in my empty studio apartment, a far cry from the 2-bedroom we shared for 4 years. I'm 33 now, sleeping on a futon I bought off Craigslist, while he's apparently thriving. Building a business, dating multiple women, living his best life without me. My name is Stephanie, and 18 months ago, I threw away the best man I'd ever known because I was bored, because I thought I deserved excitement, because 7 years with someone who actually loved me felt like a prison instead of the miracle it was. Jason and I met when I was 25. I'd just ended another disastrous relationship with Tyler, a bartender who treated me like garbage but made my heart race. After catching him with my roommate, I swore off bad boys forever. Enter Jason at a friend's birthday party. 22, finishing his degree in business, quiet and thoughtful. He spent most of the party helping the host's grandmother navigate the crowd, making sure she had a place to sit, bringing her cake. While everyone else was getting wasted, he was being kind to an old woman. "That's really sweet of you," I told him. He blushed, actually blushed. "She reminded me of my aunt. She seems lonely." When he asked for my number at the end of the night, he was so nervous he dropped his phone twice. It was adorable. After years of cocky guys who acted like I should be grateful for their attention, here was someone who acted like I was doing him a favor by saying yes. Our first date, he brought me daisies, not roses. "Too cliché," he said. Daisies because they were happy flowers for a happy occasion. He'd planned everything perfectly: dinner at a quiet Italian place, a walk in the park, coffee and dessert. He asked me questions about my life, remembered every answer, and didn't try to kiss me until the 3rd date. "I want to do this right," he said. "You're special." I fell for him. Hard. Not the roller coaster, stomach-dropping fall I'd had with the Tylers of the world. This was different. Warm, safe, like sinking into a perfectly heated bath after a long day. Within 6 months, I'd moved in. My friends were shocked. "But he's so, nice," my best friend Becca said, like it was a disease. "Exactly," I replied. "I'm done with jerks." And I meant it. For years, I meant it. Jason was everything the others weren't. He texted me good morning every day, brought me lunch at work when I forgot to pack one, rubbed my feet while we watched TV, told me I was beautiful when I woke up with bedhead and morning breath. "I love you," he'd say randomly while I was brushing my teeth, during commercial breaks, as he left for work. "Love you too," I'd reply. And I did. I really did. He proposed on our 4-year anniversary. Nothing flashy. That wasn't Jason's style. He cooked my favorite meal, lit candles, and got down on one knee in our kitchen. "I've loved you since the moment you smiled at me at that party," he said. "Will you marry me?" The ring was modest, but perfect. He'd saved for months, researched what I liked, even asked my sister for advice. I said yes, crying happy tears, imagining our future. The wedding, the house, the kids who'd have his kind eyes. For 3 years, we planned that future. Jason worked insane hours to save money. We looked at houses every weekend, picked out furniture we'd buy someday, named our future kids during silly late-night conversations. "Emma for a girl," I said. "Jake for a boy," he countered. "Deal," we'd laugh, kissing to seal it. But somewhere around year 6, something shifted. Not in him. Jason never changed. That was the problem. It crystallized at my cousin's wedding. During the reception, I watched her and her new husband have this heated, whispered argument by the bar. She threw her drink in his face. He grabbed her wrist, pulled her close, and kissed her so hard her veil fell off. They left early, practically running to their room. "God, they're so in love," Becca sighed beside me. I looked at Jason, calmly eating his cake, discussing mutual funds with my uncle. We'd go home at exactly 10:30, like always, make gentle love on schedule, Set our alarms for 7 a.m. Want to get out of here? I whispered to him. Do something crazy? The reception's not over for 2 hours, he said, checking his watch. It would be rude to leave. That night in bed, I couldn't stop thinking about that passionate kiss, that fire. When was the last time Jason grabbed me like that? When had we ever fought about anything worth fighting about? The good morning texts that once made me smile started feeling routine, predictable. I could set my watch by them. 7:15 a.m. Good morning, beautiful. Hope you have an amazing day. The I love yous became white noise. The foot rubs felt obligatory. Date nights were the same restaurants, the same pattern. Dinner, movie, home by 10:30. Want to try something different tonight? I asked once. Maybe go dancing? Hit a club? Clubs aren't really my scene, Jason said, but we could try that new mini golf place? Mini golf? I was 29, and my wildest Friday night was mini golf. I started noticing things that hadn't bothered me before. How he wore the same 5 shirts in rotation. How he never argued with me, even when I was clearly wrong. How he always let me pick the movie, the restaurant, the vacation spot. But mostly, I noticed his obsession with those ship models. Every evening, he'd sit at our kitchen table with his magnifying glass and tweezers, placing impossibly tiny pieces of rigging on miniature masts. He had dozens of them. The Cutty Sark, the USS Constitution, boats I'd never heard of. Look, I finally got the mizzen sail perfect, he'd say, holding up something the size of my pinky nail. That's nice, baby, I'd reply, scrolling through Instagram, watching friends post about spontaneous trips to Cabo and underground raves. One night I snapped, "Don't you want to do something? Go somewhere? Experience life instead of building tiny boats for dead people?" He looked up, hurt. This relaxes me. Plus, I'm saving for our honeymoon. That Mediterranean cruise you wanted? The honeymoon. Always planning, always saving, always tomorrow. What do you want? I asked one night, frustrated. I want what makes you happy, he said, like always. But what about your happiness? You are my happiness. It should have melted my heart. Instead, it annoyed me. Where was his backbone, his opinions, his passion for anything besides making me comfortable? My co-worker, Derek, started at the company around that time. Leather jacket, motorcycle, the kind of confidence that filled a room. He was everything Jason wasn't. Your boyfriend's a lucky man, Derek said one day at lunch. Fiancé, I corrected, but the word felt heavy. Even luckier. Though I bet he's the type who brings you flowers every Friday, right? He was mocking Jason, and I should have defended him. Instead, I laughed. Wednesday, actually, like clockwork. Derek grinned. Predictable. Bet you could use some spontaneity. I thought about Tyler then, my ex before Jason. The bruises he'd left, hidden under makeup. The nights I'd waited by the phone while he was with other women. The abortion I'd had to get alone because he wasn't ready for that shit. That was spontaneity. That was excitement. That was exactly what I'd run from, straight into Jason's safe arms. But somehow, 4 years later, safe felt like suffocation. I started looking forward to those lunches. To Derek's stories about last-minute road trips and bar fights and women he'd loved and left. He was chaos incarnate, the exact opposite of my stable, reliable, boring Jason. When Derek kissed me in the parking garage 2 months later, I didn't stop him. I can't, I said after, breathless. I'm engaged. To Mr. Wednesday Flowers? Derek smirked. Come on, Steph, you're not that girl. You're fire, and he's, what, lukewarm water? I went home that night and watched Jason doing dishes, humming off key, completely content with our quiet life. When he turned and smiled at me, I felt nothing but irritation. We need to talk, I said. The conversation was brutal. I listed everything wrong with him, with us. Too nice, too predictable, too safe. You text me too much. You say you love me too much. You never fight with me. You're always so agreeable. It's suffocating." Jason stared at me like I was speaking a foreign language. I thought that's what you wanted. Someone who treated you well." "Well, it's boring," I screamed. "Where's the passion, the excitement? I feel like I'm already dead." "So what do you want me to do? Treat you badly? Ignore you? Cheat on you like Tyler did?" "At least Tyler made me feel something." The words hung between us like a blade. Jason's face went through a transformation I'd never seen, confusion to hurt to something harder. "You want to feel something?" His voice was different, colder. "How's this? Get your things and get out of my apartment. Go feel something with someone else." "Jason!" I said, "Get out, Stephanie. We're done." It was the first time in 7 years he'd stood up to me. The first time he'd shown backbone. And it was to throw me away. I packed that night, taking only what I could carry. Called Derek from my car, high on adrenaline and freedom. I did it. I left him. "Good girl," Derek purred. "Come over. Let's celebrate." For 3 months, I lived the life I thought I wanted. Derek was everything Jason wasn't. Unpredictable, exciting. We'd go to underground clubs, take spontaneous trips, have screaming matches that turned into passionate makeup sex. "This is living," I told myself as Derek did another line of coke off his coffee table. "Now you're getting it, baby," he said, pulling me onto his lap. But the highs came with devastating lows. Derek would disappear for days, then show up drunk at 3 a.m. He'd flirt with other women in front of me, saying I was too uptight when I complained. The spontaneous trips were usually him running from debt collectors. The passion was just volatility in a prettier package. One night I came home to find him in bed with his ex. "Don't be so dramatic," he said as I screamed. "We're not even exclusive. We've been together 4 months." "Together?" he laughed. "Steph, you're fun, but you're not girlfriend material. Too clingy, too needy. You text too much." The irony wasn't lost on me. I thought about Jason then. When my mom had been hospitalized with pneumonia 2 years earlier, he'd taken a week off work without me asking. Sat with me in that sterile waiting room for 12 hours straight, holding my hand, bringing me terrible hospital coffee. When Derek wouldn't even answer his phone because he was busy, Jason had held me while I sobbed, promising everything would be okay. And somehow, with him there, I'd believed it. I moved into a studio apartment, too proud to admit my mistake. Started dating apps, went out with friends who were still single, pretending I was living my best life. But every guy was wrong. Too boring like Jason, or too chaotic like Derek. Too young and immature, or too old and set in their ways. They'd ghost after one date or get clingy after one hookup. "Maybe your standards are too high," Becca suggested 6 months after the breakup. "I just know what I want," I insisted. But I didn't. Not anymore. A year passed. I'd see Jason sometimes, around town. He looked good. Better than good. He'd lost weight, gained muscle, dressed sharper. Gone were the rotating 5 shirts. Now he wore fitted Henleys and dark jeans that made him look 10 years younger, but it was more than clothes. He smiled differently now. There was an edge to it, a confidence I'd never seen when we were together. The kind of sharp, knowing smile that made women do double takes. He moved differently too, purposeful, assured, like a man who knew exactly what he wanted and how to get it. "He seems really happy," our mutual friend Kate mentioned. "Different, more confident. He's got 3 women in rotation right now. Living his best life. 3 women. The man who used to bring me flowers every Wednesday now had a rotation. The man I'd called boring was now the one being chased. I'd created exactly what I thought I wanted. A bad boy. Just not for me." I started realizing what I'd lost. The security, the devotion, the absolute certainty that someone loved me completely. I'd traded it for excitement that turned out to be chaos. Passion that was really just drama. Worse, I was 33 now. My OBGYN mentioned it casually at my last appointment. If you're thinking about kids, you might want to start planning soon. Planning. I'd had a plan once. Emma for a girl, Jake for a boy, a Mediterranean honeymoon, a house with a craft room where Jason could build his ships. All deleted because I wanted chaos instead of clockwork. The guys interested in me now were either divorced with baggage or players who saw me as an easy target. My biological clock was screaming, and I'd thrown away the man who'd already named our future children. So I wrote the letter. My hand shook so badly the words were barely legible. Jason, what I called boring was peace. What I called predictable was the foundation you were trying to build for us. I didn't just break your heart. I bulldozed our future because I was addicted to chaos. And now chaos is all I have. Please, just 5 minutes. Coffee. That's all I'm asking for. Let me show you I've changed. I gave the letter to Martha, his aunt. We'd stayed in touch. She'd been like a mother to me, and I'd clung to that connection, my last tie to Jason. Please, I begged her. Just make sure he reads it. She looked at me with such pity. Honey, he's not the same boy you left. I know I hurt him, but... No, you don't understand. Jason's changed. He dates now, multiple women. He's focused on his business, his friends, himself. He's not waiting for you. But he loved me. He did, Martha agreed. But you taught him that wasn't enough. Still, she took the letter, promised to try. The response came 2 weeks later. Silence. Then a text from a number I didn't recognize. Stop contacting my family. Stop contacting me. We're done. If you persist, I'll get a restraining order. A restraining order. Against me. Like I was some crazy ex-girlfriend. Like I was dangerous. Which I suppose I was. Dangerous to his peace. To the life he'd built without me. I texted back, angry, calling him childish. How dare he threaten legal action? We'd been together 7 years. We were engaged. Didn't that mean anything? The number blocked me immediately. I sit here now in my studio apartment, scrolling through his business's Instagram. He looks happy in every photo. Really, genuinely happy in a way he never looked with me toward the end. Because I'd drained that happiness, criticized it, made him feel like loving me was a character flaw. My phone buzzes. For a second, my heart leaps. Jason? No, it's Derek. Hey, been thinking about you. Want to grab a drink? I delete the message. Then, on impulse, I scroll back through my photos to one from our 5th anniversary. Jason and me at sunset on the beach. He's looking at me like I hung the moon. I'm looking at the camera. That was always our problem, wasn't it? He was looking at me. I was looking for something else. Now he's found himself. And I'm still lost. 33, single, starting over with nothing but regret and a studio apartment. I wanted excitement, passion, drama. I got it. And it tastes like ashes. Some mistakes you pay for immediately. Others compound interest over a lifetime of lonely nights, wondering what if. I had a man who loved me too much, texted me too often, never wanted to fight. Now he's found himself, and I'm still lost. 33, single, starting over with nothing but regret and a studio apartment. I wanted excitement, passion, drama. I got it, and it tastes like ashes. I scroll to a photo from our 5th anniversary. Jason and me at sunset on the beach. He's looking at me, his whole world in his eyes. I'm looking at the camera, already seeking an audience, validation from someone, anyone else. He saw a future. I saw a photo op. Derek's text is deleted, but the emptiness it represents is permanent now. I finally have all the drama I craved. It's just a one-woman show, playing nightly in this dim, silent apartment. Some mistakes you pay for immediately, others compound interest over a lifetime of lonely nights, wondering what if. I had a man who loved me too much, texted me too often, never wanted to fight. Now I have no one. And I finally understand that what I called boring was actually peace. What I called predictable was actually stability. What I called suffocating was actually someone giving a damn. Jason was too nice. Until he wasn't. Until I taught him that nice guys finish last, so he stopped being one. For me, anyway. The cruelest irony? I created the exact man I want now. Confident, focused, unavailable. He became everything I thought I wanted him to be. Just not for me, never again for me. Some lessons cost everything to learn. This one cost me my future, my family, and the only man who ever really loved me. All because I was too stupid to know that being loved too much isn't a problem. It's a gift, one I'll never receive again.